So this woman is the wet nurse of my mother. My grandmother had 16 children and 3 that didn't were not born. So in total 19 children. But she never breastfed them. She always had a wet nurse coming. And this woman was the wet nurse of my mother. In Mallorquin, Cedida. And she was from a small village in Mallorca, Montuiri. And I became a very good friend of her and her daughter, that her name was Tonina. And Tonina was one of the first women that wanted the freedom of being a woman in Mallorca. I knew several of them, and I was one of them myself. But Tonina decided that she didn't want to get married and have to follow the orders of her husband in everything. So Tonina decided that she was not going to go to work in the fields like her mother first and her older sister too, and have children. And so she decided to become seamstress. And so her mother asked my mother if Tonina could come and stay with us in the city, so she could go to have classes for sewing. And of course my mother immediately said, of course she can come. And she did. And she spent 3 or 4 years in my house, going back and forth to the village sometimes. And she taught me how to sew. This is Catalina. Catalina la cocinera. Catalina the cook. And she was in my house for about 40 years. I'm sure she had men wanted to marry her because she was very nice looking and a very good person. But she didn't want to marry because we didn't want to have to obey any man. She wanted to be her own person and do whatever she liked. Now, women, we have other ways to express our independence. And now, actually, there have to be women that express their independence with politics. I think the role of women has been changing very much in the last few years. And I hope it does again more. And I hope more women get into the government. I'm not against men, but I think all men and women should be equal and have what they deserve, each of them, regardless of sex. We need to be always aware that what is going on in the country and in the world. Because if we ignore what is in the present, we don't have any right to complain about what happens. For some reasons now, one of the things that is changing, in my opinion, is the value that the world is giving to women. And I think this is something that is going to be a very good thing to change the world. Because women have been put down for many, many hundreds of years. They have not been allowed to be themselves, and they have been subjugated. So I think that now women are starting to show their true personalities and their true sense of what is worth doing and what is right doing and what do they want to change in the world, and I hope it happens.